Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome back, Laura. We can't hear you unless you're not talking. We just see you on.
You were saying hello.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Hopefully you had a great vacation. I assume you went on vacation.
I did. Yeah, actually went to my sister's wedding. So
Right.
I would not call it vacation. It was pretty busy. But yeah, it was good and everybody was really happy. And also now we're happy it's over because it's a whole big thing, you know? So success.
All right, since there aren't any actual topics on the agenda, just scrub and well, I guess no, the people involved in the all of the scrub entries aren't there yet. Let's give it a couple more minutes.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, Jeremy.
Greetings. I will put on a tiny little topic, but it's more like an update, so just FYI.
All right, thanks. Okay, and Ryan's joined, so maybe we can start then with the first one in the list. So if Mike, if you want to share your screen, 5314. My Zoom just crashes if I share my screen, which is why I'm not doing it.
Sorry, I shared my screen on the placement decision cap, right?
Yeah, yes, please. 5314. And yeah, sorry, I didn't start the call properly, so welcome everybody to the October 7th SIG multicluster call. Yeah, let's start the scrub with the placement decision.
Yep, let me share
Okay.
my screen. Where is? Sorry, just a sec. Yeah, sorry about that. Let me try again. So hopefully y'all can see the screen.
Yeah.
We have let me go all the way down there. So based on the review that Jeremy, Laura, and Stephen had, me and Ryan, we made several changes to the cap. So we wanted to add the left side. So before the discussion, we only have the right side where we didn't have the left side of the initiator and how the placement can correlate with the workload. And then we only had the right side on the consumer side. So hopefully by adding the left side of the equation, and then also we talk about a little bit more with the placement key and decision key, and then the how the initiator, then the flow examples of how the initiator creates the placement request, and then the producer produces the placement decision, and the consumer consume the decision. That'll clarify a bit on the cap. And then there were also a discussion about why we are trying to define the placement decision before maybe standardize some kind of placement API. We added a section here as well to talk a little bit about that. And then another change is, I think, in the latest review from Steven, I added the initiator here onto all of the user stories. So I think, I don't know, Ryan, do you want to mention something that you have done? Steven, any other additional comments? But in some way, we bought the cap, I think, more up to date in terms of based on the previous feedback.
Yeah, I see you removed the mention of integration tests and scale tests as well.
Right, yes.
No, thanks.
I had a cursory look at it yesterday, mostly just to read it because there was some stuff merged. I do think that the components, the temporal components, where it's about reevaluation, one shot, who the consumer is, when it might or might not want to act. I think the way that is structured now is excellent, and definitely an improvement of on what we had in here before. At least when I read it, I immediately understand where in the life cycle, on where in which phases this might have an effect, which I think is good, because if I can understand it, then well, everyone should be able to understand it.
Okay, I don't have any more to share on the cap. Just waiting for additional feedback from any of the reviewers and from the community as well. So
yeah. So just quickly looking through the last changes. So for example, in story 3, the disaster recovery scenario. So when you say it updates the corresponding placement decision, is that a pre-existing placement decision that was created by something else, or does the DR controller maintain its own placement decisions? And if so, how are they keyed?
I see. I should have clarified here. It seems like I didn't mention who creates the placement decision. So I was hoping that by mentioning the DR controller and policy owner here, what I really want to say is it can be either or. Like the DR controller could have created the placement decisions, or the whoever sets the policy create the initial placement decisions, and then have the policy on how the DR should behave. And then
Right, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I think you were about to say it's good idea to clarify that, and I should clarify.
No, that was clear enough. That was clear enough to me. What I was wondering about was so each placement decision has a key. if I remember correctly. Yeah, the decision. All right, so they are technically optional. So does that mean then that the DR controller in that sort of scenario would not have it would just write placement decision objects that don't have decision keys, so that they don't map necessarily to anything. They just specify where which clusters are usable.
Yeah, I think in that case, it can be just using the name of the placement decision itself, like the CR name itself. I mean,
Yeah.
both the key and the decision key are for like this. I guess this one's for grouping, and this is more to do with the related to the request to the workload. So yeah, both are optional, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So it's really up to the consumer how they want to use.
Okay. Yeah. And that's well, like I said previously, I think this is an interesting scenario because it shows how placement decision can be useful even without any placement object at all.
Right.
Okay. Any other comments on this one from anybody? Okay. Thanks. So the next one in the scrub is well, a pair of PRs from Arthur for geostack policies and fields. And so I've approved them both, so they just need another LGTM from anybody who feels comfortable doing that. Then same again with Arthur's label, the CRD version label. PR, it's just waiting for someone else to review. Then we have the cluster specific auth info field. Yeah, so that actually is okay to test, but we need to review it properly. I haven't had time to do that yet. And then there's the cluster inventory API PR, which Ryan's been frantically updating just before the call.
Yes, thank you for the review. Yeah, I presented last time. I just wonder what's the next steps. I addressed your comments are all good. I addressed all your comments.
Right. Yeah. Well, so the next step is for me to re-review and somebody else.
Because this one is this PR is for the code. Actually, we'll have another one to actually modify the KP a little bit. The KP is mostly correct, just small changes.
All right. Okay. So your question is probably then, do we want to merge the PR first before merging the code changes?
Not really. More like when can we get a consensus? Like when we know that this is something that's yeah, basically when can we decide whether this renaming works, this small modification works? Then KP changes just kind of just a wording.
Yeah.
And I could make it a KP change too, but it's I think the wording thing is actually less concerning to me because I feel like most people would agree that the new name is better. What we do not disagree is how better it is. That's the difference. I think it clearly is closer to what it means, but whether that is something that worth changing, I think is what we want to discuss. Yeah. So I'm just wondering
Right.
how.
Yeah, but do you want to share your screen so everybody can see what we're talking
Oh,
about? But so just one significant change compared to last time we talked about this is that you've made it so that credential provider, the old name is still usable. So this change won't actually break any current user. It keeps the existing field and adds a new one called access providers and deprecates credential providers with a comment to use access providers instead.
so we discussed last time, and Stefan had a good suggestion that instead of replacing it, we add a new one that is properly named, and then we kind of just say it's going to be deprecated. The old one is going to be deprecated by maybe 1 beta 1, so that it will not break existing code, but when we get to V1 beta 1, then we can make the switch. So it kind of solve the existing code breakage problem, or put it more like a kick that down the line, down the road, instead of break it right away. So yeah, that basically this is the change. So I was going to just replace it, but then I think that this is, and I've seen this pattern in many projects. That I was wondering why there are so many deprecated fields. Now I think I understand.
Quick question. Sorry if this was covered last time that you talked about this, but do we have good insight on like who are implementers who are consuming on top of this? I think like that's the more direct answer to like how we get consensus on a change like this, or feel comfortable with a consensus on change with this.
Yeah, that's a good question. As far as I know, according to Quarantine, someone in GKE maybe.
Yeah, I think GKE uses it, but yeah.
I don't know anything else that has implemented this, at least in the production or semi-production type of environment.
Okay, yeah. So I think it would help maybe start there, and then also, sorry if I misunderstood before, but are you saying that there is like a cap change, there's a PR that's associated with this code change, or
Not, but
no?
this is
Okay, yeah,
kind of
sure.
just
No, I get it.
a name change.
Right,
That most like the
No,
cap doesn't really get into that, but it does mention, I think in the cap somewhere there's a YAML file
oh, I see.
having this,
Yeah.
so that would
Okay,
change that. But I think the idea doesn't change. None of that.
cool.
The whole idea didn't change at all.
Right. Yeah.
Just the implementation.
All right, I
Naming.
get it. Cool.
And there's actually another one. But anyway, yeah. So I know GK, but GK has too many people. I know Quarantine probably knows, but I don't know who else in this call may know more about the real actual implementation. So we may want to get some input from whoever knows more details about this.
Maybe just to add, I think the multi-cluster runtime provider would also be affected by this. Like that's
Have you actually started to use this field? I thought the first version is not actually using this yet.
Okay, I'm not quite sure about that. I know that we have credential providers implemented. But I don't know who's actually using the provider. Let's put it that way.
Okay, well, yeah, the runtime. Let's take a. My understanding was we haven't the multi-cluster runtime hasn't started really using this model yet. This like two-size model yet, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I've just grabbed the code and it turns up in the provider test.
Yeah, okay, I'll take a look. But again, this is just a naming change. And it's
a fairly simple change to fix when we get to V1 V1. If we remove it then.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Just wanted to note it as, I guess, one of the
Yeah, another
implementations
user.
also.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Okay, so well, I'll re-review that with your changes then, and maybe ping Cornton as well, since he had objections. And that's the end of the scrub. So Laura,
no, there's another
sorry,
one.
no?
There's a 559. This is the one. This one I kind of presented last time.
Yeah. Well, I just mentioned I haven't had time to review it, and
oh, okay. And other like whoever is like also runtime. Actually, this actually also affected the multi-cluster runtime a lot. I think it depends on how you plan to support the plugin. So maybe I would hope some multi-cluster runtime people can also take a look at this. This cap is kind of in the nuance, a lot of nuances there. Some different caps. Just since I'm here, just give a quick overview again. The proposal is here. So we propose to add. I think this is something that we talked. This is actually something we talked to Corentin during a APAC meeting. Although we are kind of all in US. So we propose to add 2 more tags keys so that we can allow users to put basic args and environments into the extension field inside that cluster struct. That's the gist of it. If you have more questions, that we can discuss in the SIG multi-cluster channel. Okay, yeah, so that's the comment.
Okay, thanks. So this time, Laura, it really is your turn.
Hi. Yeah, so this is really a kind of small update, but I just wanted to mention to the broader folks about progress related to the multi-cluster monitoring and observability survey project that has been going on in the background. There's a doc linked in the agenda for people who didn't hear about that before. But basically, this was like a survey about like intended for people who have multi-cluster deployments and to like learn some stuff about them, particularly in terms of their monitoring and observability setup or like pain points that we can kind of aggregate and understand as a SIG. So just putting a couple metrics here about like just generally and aggregate what we got back. I want to call out that we worked with SIG ContribX, who is in charge of all the Kubernetes social media pages or accounts, I guess. And they helped and did like a marketing push for us August 11th to September 22nd. And that was like super helpful. So if anybody else is ever looking to do stuff like that, they were like super helpful and I do recommend it. And they were able through that push to help us get a lot of responses. Because we ended up getting 150 all like super high quality responses, no trolls, yay. So that was pretty great. So me and Priya are working on the analysis. We're probably about like 60 or 70% done. And then we're gonna give a first pass like look to everybody here. And then we're also gonna like incorporate it into the update for KubeCon North America as well. So anyways, that's the update and it's still happening and look forward to some more deets coming soon. That's all.
Thanks. And yeah, for those of you going to KubeCon, there'll be a part of the deep dive will cover the results of the survey. And so that's the end of the topics. So unless anybody has anything they want to bring up, we can finish early. Going once, going twice. Right, well, have a good rest of the day. And I'll see some of you maybe on Thursday, otherwise next week.
Bye, people.
Thanks all.
Bye.